me ask you this. So if you get Grammys, or does that like help you get into like the Hall of Fame, which allows you to have royalties or money? Because I don't understand why it is so important. I mean, I know it's an accolade, but is it something attached to some type of, money or compensation that they get? Or is it just...
It's just an accolade.
Yeah.
It's just an accolade, and unfortunately, that's what make it just exposes you to another audience. And so we can say for example, to some of us, like, all right, we don't talk about our accolade, I don't talk about my masters and all like that. It does. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But for certain people, it does matter, right? For certain people who can offer those, I guess, better jobs, so to speak, if I want to work for someone. And so that's kind of like what a Grammy is, something to put on your portfolio, your resume, for somebody to be like, oh, so now you're important.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so it opens more doors.
Okay, I figured that so much, but then I also said to myself, hey, the Hall of Fame, I do know you get royalties, or there's something that the Hall of Fame still pays either the person or their family, right? And is there check boxes that they say, oh, nominated Grammy or Grammy winner or Oscar winner? I'm thinking that, is this like the preliminary or the precursor to getting those other accolades? It's almost like they trying to make them go hand in hand. But why don't we start our own? And why do they look so down on Soul Train Awards, or like they never come?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, oh, so-and-so couldn't be here. We accepted on their behalf.
Yeah.
But you don't give that same type of, it's not that same value for those other organizations.
That's the same thing I've been saying. We need to start our own, Black Grammys. You know what I mean? Like, it don't even got to be the Black Grammys, but we need to start our own stuff, because, they don't appreciate us. They don't. And it's like, what I don't like is when certain people who really don't belong in a specific category, but they're in that category and they win, like they did with the chick, the one that sound like, I can't think her name right now, but she sound like Erykah Badu, and Lizzo won in that category or something like that. And it was like, Lizzo shouldn't have been in there, which I would give Lizzo a pass because she Black. But if it's like somebody like, I think they was mad about Doja Cat won in the category.
Yeah. Doja Cat won the female artist, soul and R&B. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, not her.
We do have our own. We got the NAACP awards too. But again, it doesn't, we don't give ourselves that amount of validity with those. So we do have our own. We just
that's not music though, is it?
Yeah,
is it both?
I get it though. That's a mix of everything. I don't think that's the more entertainment piece of it, but I think again is us being programmed to think, their ice is colder.
Yeah, like Charlamagne said, like, why do we need their acceptance?
Yeah,
we don't. We have to love ourselves more enough to start saying that what I believe is that we need to start controlling the narrative in our culture more. I mean, not just letting somebody come in the culture, rob from it, and then claim it and say you have nothing to do with it. People like Elvis did that. It's rappers out there, white rappers out there that did that. Eminem is probably one of the only rappers who have been so forthcoming and so open about him giving homage to Black folks' culture. That's why I like him. But you have people like, what's the white guy with the tattoos all over his face? Post Malone.
He was another one.
He took home whatever the last awards was. He took home like 9 awards.
And I wouldn't have a problem with Post Malone if he didn't try to go and grandstand and try to act like his music wasn't inspired by rap.
Like he different.
By hip hop. He trying to say it's his own thing. It's like, come on, man. Come on. That make me not like you. So if you don't want to like my culture, then I don't like you.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing about our culture as African Americans, we have our African brothers and sisters, but they have a culture. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They have the, the different things that they do in Africa. But when you come over here and you see your brothers and sisters who are of American descent, we have started the hip hop culture. That's our culture.
Yeah.
We're always saying, well, what tradition do the Black people have, here in America? That is it. And that is it. And that is why we get the way we do. It's hip hop, it's jazz, it's rhythm and blues. All of that is our culture. And you have all these movies, Five Heartbeats, The Temptations. These people have started these groups, the Supremes. And guess what they did? Oh, we're not going to sign you to our label. Then get the white group and say, let them sing it. Or then they put them in places where you can't touch the white people. You can only sing. Don't come out the circle. Like, that's real. Yeah, and we are still looking at it to say, oh, we want your Oscar. We want your Grammy. Nah, it's the time is up. The time is up. We need to do our own, and we need to let it be known. Like, one thing I like about Dame Dash, and he always stood real on it. You're not going to be a culture vulture. You're not going to take our, do you know that I lived in a world where I had to literally have my hair straightened to say, okay, let me go get this job because I have to be enough for them to see me so that I can feed my family? Mm-hmm. And then it got to a point, and I'm glad that it didn't take too long for me to get to that point, but it was what it was. I had to live in their world. They didn't live in mine, but now they're living in our world and they're stealing it like they stole everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Did you see I don't know who that was, but it was like a company or whatever that was or a fake company or whatever. They were saying that Cardi B bought her Grammys, her record label. Did you see that?
No.
She went in. She went in because I can't remember what the name is. It was like American Independent or whatever. They had the blue verified check and they kept tweeting like Cardi label bought her Grammys, and she went off and she like, I ain't buying my Grammy and this, that, and the other. And she did like a whole live and she was like, they always hating on me and they and y'all, they got to give it to her, that invasion of privacy.
That's what I was about to say. Since she won album of the year, everybody just been coming for her because they don't think she deserved it, but just worked off for that. So
yes, and that's what she said.
That's my girl, and I'll bet anybody on the face of the earth. Tell me who had a better album during that time.
She was in the category. Who was in her category again?
Pusha T.
Nipsey was in there. Travis Scott.
Oh yeah.
And it was somebody else too.
Yeah, I'm just like, because it's a woman, because she won instead of one of the guys winning. So that's another thing as well. First of all, it's because she's a woman and then she don't write her raps. But most of y'all don't write your raps also. But we all we know that. Y'all got people to read over your raps to make sure they look fine.
She earned that. And one of my favorite rappers of all time is Nick and Pusha. But for somebody, they veterans in the game. You're talking about somebody who had nothing, who worked hard to get something that everybody liked.
Exactly.
On,
she worked hard for that. From that entertainment perspective, she hustled.
Yes,
she hustled, and I feel she deserved it.
Yes,
she probably top 5 female artists for me right now. I'm telling you. I mean, just because of the blood, sweat, equity that she putting in her music. And it ain't like it's horrible.
Exactly.
Like, people acting like it's horrible. How can you?
Like they can't good.
It's like, come on, man. Like y'all, they cut her some slack, man.
The hate is real. The hate is real for her.
It's a lot when that fame comes. It's a lot that come with that, and I'm quite sure she know it because everybody can't withstand that heat that it brings. You want the fame, you gonna get what come with that.
Yeah,
exactly. And she needs to stop acknowledging every little thing. You know what I mean? Because some stuff is just not worth the acknowledgement. and it's so many people out there, trolls, that they looking for that little boost in their ego that, oh, Cardi, she responded to something I said. Like, come on.
Like when she came out with her sneakers, it was people trolling, was talking about the sneakers was like representing the Egyptian queen or something, and she like came out, was apologizing. She was like, I'm sorry if I've offended anybody, but like that was the look I was going for, and I talked to the people about this, and that's what I wanted. And I'm just like, beautiful, you didn't have to.
Yeah,
because like she always has to defend herself.
She needs to call Beyonce's PR people.
Period.
Right.
they got it perfect. Like, to have the beehive and to have her amount of people, they got it down packed with Beyonce.
Yeah.
What to say. So they need to connect. And
Beyonce she don't fight her battles. The beehive is like real.
And Cardi Cardi don't give nobody a chance.
Yeah, she don't.
No, yeah, because when her and Nicki went through what they went through, she had what they call it, the Cardi gang.
Barty gang.
Barty gang. They definitely look out for her.
They really do. Which I'm hoping that we get a song from them too next year.
I keep hearing it.
I'm hoping we do. I think this beef is squashed. They are both mothers in the game. They're top-notch artists. They're going to do a song together. If we got Beyonce and Megan and Cardi and Megan, we're going to get Cardi and Nicki, okay?
Yes. That's what I've been saying.
You know what they say? Everybody had to fight their friend before they became their best friend. Like, that's how it is. It's like, oh, wait, we so much alike that when we fought and after the fight, it was like, oh, you real cool. And then you got
to respect.
So they had to go through this in order to probably get to be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like the industry had to, because it was something I was watching. They were talking about, it's this London female rapper that Atlantic Records was looking for. I can't remember her name right now, but they were looking for somebody to pit against Nicki Minaj. And then it was this London rapper that they were going to give her all this money or whatever if she put out a diss track against Nicki Minaj, and she was like, "No, I'm not doing it."
Exactly.
Then they found Cardi, and they wanted somebody to come up against Nicki Minaj, but and they started off cool, and then
that's because people got in their ear.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like the industry was.
Who could go against, like, with the verses? Like, who could go against Nicki Minaj, though, except for Lil' Kim? Being as though they're in different genres. Besides Lil' Kim, who else can go against Nicki Minaj?
It's a lot of people who can go against Nicki Minaj. Like,
who you think?
It's a
female-wise.
Female, let me see. I mean, you got people, well, you want to talk current or past?
That's why I said besides Lil' Kim, because that's who I would put to her. But yeah, I mean, that can go catalog for catalog against Nicki Minaj.
I don't know. Nicki Minaj stuff her catalog is long.
Oh,
it's a lot of great female rappers, but when it comes down to the verses, whose catalog is as long as Nicki Minaj to where they could battle like that?
It's a couple, and I'm gonna do a little research, but it's like you gotta realize how big Nicki Minaj is on a broad spectrum. It's a lot of female artists out there that has a lot of music, but they not as big as Nicki Minaj. But that's gonna be hard for Nicki. I mean, you can't take away from what Nicki put out there. You can't do it. You just no way. Like, you gotta give her just dessert. You gotta give her flowers. You know what I mean?
And when you talk about her, what you said, Lily, her inspiring, when she tweeted, inspiring a whole new generation, like you can't take that from her.
Can't take it from her. But she was inspired by Lil' Kim. Like, That's why you couldn't put them together.
Somebody always gotta throw that in there.
It's facts though.
It's true. Like how you can't throw that in there?
Everybody comes into the game being inspired by somebody.
Right. So
why do she gotta be the one? Why she gotta be the one that gets so much flack?
Because you can't sit there and say like Nicki Minaj inspired all these people and don't say Nicki Minaj. I mean, Lil' Kim inspired Nicki Minaj.
But what about Beyonce? Beyonce inspired so many people. How come Beyonce is the one that don't have to always acknowledge somebody that she was inspired by?
Because of the cloniness. Like you can look literally at videos that
but why do they always do this to Nicki Minaj though?
No, but it's because that's the similarities. Now you can say this, that Riri was she was inspired by Beyonce. She became so much looking like her that they was like, all right, we gotta switch it up.
But why does no one talk about that? Why is it everybody gonna go in on Nicki Minaj?
In the beginning,
she does say that when she first came out, she was inspired by Lil' Kim.
In the beginning stages, Rihanna did have a lot of similarities to Beyonce, and that whole team switched that around because it was too much of a clone. So when Nicki did it, Nicki did a lot like Lil' Kim with the raunchiness, with the tune, with the voice effect.
But she's saying that she did acknowledge that. My question is, how come she doesn't get? Why does she get so much flack because of it?
I think at the end. It's because she
though.
She
even says that. She even says that.
Wait.
She even says that though. She even says that.
So are you saying that
every time she talks?
Wait, are you saying that because someone says that she was inspired by Lil' Kim, you're saying that that's giving Nicki Minaj flack? That's what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So I'm trying to understand what flack are you talking about?
Let me finish. She said herself that in the beginning, every time she had to do an interview, people always was like, who are your influence? Who are your influence? Who are your influence? And she kept saying, you can go back and look at all of her old interviews. She kept saying, Lil' Kim, I love Lil' Kim,
That's not a debate.
But like, she's the one that always had, and she said it herself, she got tired of it. She always had to acknowledge Lil' Kim.
She has to.
Why?
Why? You can't. It's nothing.
Who says that? Who says that?
You can't.
Brandy said that she was inspired by Whitney Houston. That was her idol. Is she still having to say that? Is she still being held to that?
No, but that's
Jay-Z said that Nas was in the top 3. Do he still have to say that?
So this is the thing.
And why?
I think the problem is becoming the narrative that, they putting this, it's not that. If you came out with a style that was almost identical to the person who inspired you, like, is nobody else on the planet Earth who has a album cover that look exactly like the person who inspired?
But if she did that in the beginning and she paid homage to her, why do she? It has the conversation has to keep continuing.
That I'm making,
she got that from Lil' Kim. She's a clone from Lil' Kim. She's done so much.
So we already understand that you swing from. You want to Nicki Minaj? So we get that. So we get that.
Don't put me in the category because when we get to talking about Nicki Minaj, shots fired by you.
The point that I'm saying is
fired by you.
I'm just telling you that nobody else. If you can, I will completely shut up 100% and never say anything else again. If you can show me. From Whitney Houston to Toni Braxton to anybody who said they was inspired by somebody, right? did a complete identical kind of like release of something and don't give them homage. You're not going to find it.
She did give her homage.
No,
what are you talking about?
Okay, so what Sizzle is saying is that she did give homage. What I believe,
but that's not the debate.
What you're saying is that it's not enough, and she got to continue to do that throughout her career.
That's what you're saying. No, you're saying that I'm saying it. I know exactly what I'm saying. I know exactly what I'm saying. And what I'm not saying is that Nicki Minaj isn't good. What I'm not saying is that she doesn't deserve her flowers. What I'm not saying is that she isn't good, or even in comparison to Little Kim. What I am saying, however, is that anytime you try to bring up something and say like somebody's supposed to give homage, and how come Nicki Minaj can't say, okay, she can say that she inspired people. Right? So if you can acknowledge that you're saying she inspired people, then you have to acknowledge that somebody inspired her. That's the bottom line of it. It's no.
That wasn't even what I was. That wasn't what I was saying.
I get what you're saying.
That's where the conversation started from. That's where the conversation started. Yes, it was. When you said it, we can rewind all this. When you said it, I was like, well, you got it, because Little Kim.
Hold up, Charles, hold up. So what it is that Sizzle is saying that she gave homage all the time, always gave homage. And now she says she could, but how many times? So the one interview that she may have not gave homage, Little Kim people are like, she didn't say Little Kim. And she's saying, why is it that every interview you could go and see the history that I've given homage? So now that y'all coming at me, F it, I'm not saying it no more, because I've said it too many times. I know who inspired me, and then that's where the beef started from.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That ain't what I'm saying. I don't know what that's about. What I'm saying is it's simple. It's real simple.
See, he's not listening.
That he had acknowledged something, then that's fine. If Nicki Minaj had said that she inspired a whole generation and this, that, and the other,
he did.
And that if you're saying that, then people have to acknowledge, because somebody inspired her.
Why? That's a whole different time.
Somebody's inspired by somebody.
But she did an interview where she once just didn't say it. And then Little Kim fans was like, why you ain't give homage to Little Kim? And then it turned into more of an ego thing. And then that's how the big beef started.
Mm-hmm. But that's not what we were talking about. Y'all jumped over a different narrative. That's not what we were talking about. We was talking about something simple, and then she jumped off the cliff. Oh my God, I can't believe that everybody. That's not what I was saying.
No, what I said.
With the music. Okay,
but listen,
listen. Well, we gotta stop. We gotta stop the recording anyway. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Now you don't want me to talk.
With the beautiful.
Now you don't want me to talk.
With the beautiful, you can talk. We're just over the tape. Go ahead. I just gotta end the show.
How many times do we go over? How many times do we go over?
We went over a lot.
All right, so let me finish what I'm saying. So basically what I was saying, now Little Kim, when she came out, she had her time and people were inspired from her. Nicki Minaj, when she came out, during her time when she started blowing up, she inspired people. If you look at the female rappers that are out now, they will tell you they were inspired by Nicki Minaj. And I'm sure it's going to be somebody years and years down the line that's going to say, I was inspired by Doja Cat. I was inspired by somebody. But it just keeps continuing. And I'm telling you right now, whoever was inspired by Nicki Minaj, they're not going to have to keep saying for 30, 40 years into their career, I was inspired by Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj. She's the only one that gets that. And that was my point. She's the only one. It is. It's not true. It is. When Lil Kim
real quick, changing it. Trina is who is she being compared to? Is it more City Girls or more of a Meg Thee Stallion?
City Girls was.
I would say City.
Yeah.
Okay.
City Girls.
Yeah,
City Girls. Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. I would say City Girls. Mm-hmm. And I think that wasn't it. Trina ain't want to do nothing with City Girls, something like that.
I think they had a beef or something.
Yeah.
I think that was outside of music though. I don't think they had.
They didn't get homage. That's what it was. That's what
probably was.
Right?
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think it was something like that.
No, I don't think. I don't know if it was that. I think that was something that was outside of music. I think I was hearing something about that. I could be wrong.
We got a lot of trailblazers. Just a lot. Because Adina Howard, I don't know if y'all remember her, but she was like real, like when ahead of the time where it wasn't even something that you talked about.
Exactly.
Even in the white field, you got Cyndi Lauper and Madonna. Madonna did everything Cyndi Lauper did, like the different color hair, the whole grunge look, or the the hippie or pop look. So so a lot of people inspire a lot of people.
Yeah. That's all I was saying. Like how long she gotta keep.
Nikki got to come on and see her girl Sizzle. Sizzle was
I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate. But see, every time somebody say Nicki Minaj, he gotta throw shade every time.
No, that's not. I didn't throw shade. I just was telling. See, you're wrong again. You're wrong. That's not the conversation. The conversation was about inspiration. She was who inspired a generation. And
y'all know he throws shade
and I said it was somebody who inspired her. That was it. And you jumped off a cliff then without a parachute. You just dove off like, oh, okay. It is what it is.
Well, I asked
there you have it,
that you couldn't answer.
This is We Talk Weekly after the talk with your girl, with the beautiful
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj ain't here, but you are. So we gotta end the show. We was on time, but we had to keep talking about this all the time.
It would have been short if you could have just answered that quick question. Well, it was just a quick question. How long she gotta keep going through that?
It ain't no time limit on anything.
See, that was not no time limit.
It was no time limit. There you go. All right, can we end the show now? I guess I'm waiting for Sizzle. Can we end the show now? Or you want to talk about Nicki Minaj some more?
Come on, end the show. Sizzle done.
Okay, there you go. All right, we out, y'all. So